Hey there, welcome to our first lesson of this course. We're going to be looking for basic references when looking at covers. We're going to go to Pinterest. When it comes to references, this is one of my favorite places to look for. All kinds of information, really, for inspiration. Maybe even some kinds of examples that I want to use in my work. And from here, what I want to find is a series of covers to use as a kind of index of what I want to do. In this case, in this course, what we're going to be doing is developing a cover that's based on things that happen within the novel that we're working on. So we're going to use, for example, a novel inspired by, romance. So maybe what we're going to get from the novel is a rose that might be discussed within the novel. And maybe it's like an essential part of it. And in the silhouette of that rose, we're going to develop an illustration of what might happen in the book. Like a scene. We do have to have a clear idea that the essential part of making a book cover is to avoid giving away too much. Because the reader can lose all interest for reading a book if we're going to spoil it on the front. If they're going to know the end before even reading it, well, we don't want to do that. We're not going to do that. What I'm doing right now is look for a series of images that can direct me towards what I want when I'm working. And as you can see, there's a bit of everything when it comes to book covers. There are some that use collage, illustrations, lettering. This one, for example, looks really good to me. There's like a mushroom and Alice's legs. And they're using that as like a reference for the cover. They're covers that are really simple and straight to the point, but they're playing with those subtle details from the novel that you can relate to quite easily when you're done with the novel. For example, here in Hamlet, the most representative part in this play is the scene where he's holding that skull, we can see on the cover of the book, that to be or not to be. That monologue, man. This one here is the kind of illustration that I want to do in this course. They're using like a silhouette to create inside of it a completely different landscape. Like in this one, we can see inside of the dragon that there's a sort of town. It's a pretty good resource when we don't know very well how to synthesize what's happening in the novel without revealing too much of the story. The most convenient thing to do is to start from a simple word or a simple object, and then on the inside, try to expand on that a little bit more. Where's the problem? Well, you can't use too many details. So the good thing to do is to unify it through a color palette. This one is orange, the one before was blue. Anyway, I'm going to go on saving all the ones that I like in my reference file, so I can later use them as an example. As you can see, there's a bit of everything here. There are complex illustrations, there are more simple ones. This one here, I love this one. Oh, wow. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You gotta check that one out. It's a really good book. I'll save this one so I don't lose it. I really like it. And, well, it's just a question of looking for references that inspire. But as I was saying, this course is going to be centered mostly on the cover. If, for example, here you can see, in this case of this illustrator, he decided to place Hogwarts Castle in the same place, just changing the colors of each book. You see that? That's pretty cool, right? So, the first one isn't the same as the second one, but the image is still the same. Alright, for example, this one here, The Walking Dead, is a perfect example of what I want to represent. The external silhouette is a zombie, but there are a lot more things inside, like a landscape or characters. So they're like setting a scene. There's a more complex description inside what was just a simple silhouette. And well, once you've made up your reference file, keep in mind that we're going to be touching on one of them in concrete. Making more than one illustration in this same style is going to generate a uniformity that looks quite striking. It's going to look really nice. I'm going to try and help you guys in this all I can, and any questions you might have, you can ask them in the forum, and I'll be happy to answer you guys. See you in the next lesson.